What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Welcome back here today to a tier list video, which I'm pretty excited to do, and it's ranking the third overall picks in NBA history. This is like low-key one of the best spots to take some players, just like of all time. Like there's some stars, especially as of late, that we'll get into in this tier list. So this is from 2000, so I believe it's the last 23 drafts, but I could be wrong. It could be give or take one there. And yeah, we're gonna rank them in just S through F. Usually I'll kind of name the buckets I'm dropping in, but I'm just gonna try this out. Maybe I just try to categorize it too much. This can actually be like a true ranking who I think is where. This was created by the Go Devin. He's giving me quiz videos tier list. I just did one of his quiz videos the other day, and if you guys want to see me do this with maybe number one overall picks or other picks, let me know by dropping a thumbs up, because we could do this with like second round picks, just like as a broad thing there, like maybe the best second round picks in NBA history, or we could do this with like the second overall picks. So I do have this up from StatMuse, which basically just has everybody here, because hey, maybe I'm not going to be able to tell which one is like who's Darius Miles by the look of his face. So yeah, we're going to use this kind of as a base. So yeah, I guess we can get into this. Al Horford, I guess we should probably start where the top is, and I feel like S tier caliber third overall picks. Luka Doncic right now has to be there. He is one of the best players in the NBA, and he's, 24, 23 years old? He might even be 22 for all I know. He's probably 23. Don't quote me. And yeah, he's going to be an NBA great, so that is a very good third overall pick. Jason Tatum will also go in there with Luka Doncic. He's not going to be, I don't think, as good as Luka, maybe at any point throughout their career, since they're pretty similar in age. But Tatum has led his team to an NBA Finals more than Luka has. And yeah, he was in the league 2 years earlier, but he's been to plenty of conference finals so far. I think he's been to 4. So yeah, Tatum's off to a great start in his career. You would take him number 1 overall in almost any draft that doesn't have maybe Luka in it. Embiid definitely going in there as well. He's probably better than Tatum right now, but hey, him versus Luka could be a debate who you'd rather have. Luka has been to more conference finals. Take that for what you will. But Embiid is one of the most dominant big men we've seen of all time. Definitely of the 21st century, up there with AD. If you count Giannis, Dwight Howard in his kind of prime as well. Tim Duncan. Yeah, he is just pure dominance at that 5 spot. And he's going into the S tier of third overall picks. Anybody else that's going to go in the S tier? James Harden, yeah, you're like, if you're getting an NBA Hall of Famer at number 3, you're going into the S tier. All these guys will be in the Hall of Fame when it's all said and done. And yeah, I think they all belong there in the S tier, that you were getting studs with the third overall pick. James Harden, for a very long period in Houston, was the best scorer we have seen, maybe since MJ, just pure scoring. He was up there with AI, Kobe, as just like these pure dominant scorers at that 2 position, and some of those were maybe like Jordan was a 2, Bryant was a 2, AI you can look at it as a 2, yeah, and I know he'll be kind of debated all time with Allen Iverson, but yeah, these guys at least are like Harden. If he retired today, would be a Hall of Famer. The other 3 wouldn't be, but you know, they're on their track to be Hall of Famers. So yeah, you're getting a projected Hall of Famer. And it's not like the NBA is like the MLB, where these guys can just fizzle out, or the NFL and have a career-ending injury. Like, yes, injuries can happen, but these guys aren't going to suck. They're going to be averaging 20-plus per game and leading their teams to good records for years to come. Baseball is kind of interesting like that, because there's a lot of volatility to players' careers. They could be so good in their first 3 years and then just kind of suck. But usually if you're elite in your first 4 to 5 years, like some of these guys, like you're going to be elite your whole career. Anybody else that I think belongs in that S tier? Yes, we do have Carmelo Anthony. He retired today. He would be a Hall of Famer. I don't think he was ever the best pure scorer at any point in his career in the league, but because you had guys like Kobe, LeBron, KD, but he was right under those guys and was just a beast for the Nuggets. He was a beast for the Knicks in the early part of his years there, and his career did kind of fall off pretty quickly, but he's still an S tier player. If you're a Hall of Famer, you belong there in the S tier. So anybody else that I think is a first ballot Hall of Famer or will be, Pau Gasol, yeah, the Lakers are just retiring his jersey number. He was the 3rd overall pick in 2001 by the Hawks. I guess that technically maybe went to Memphis, and then he was traded for Marc Gasol, and like that whole trade with the Lakers and the Grizzlies. But yeah, he is a Hall of Famer, and he's going to go in that S tier. Pretty easy. Like, you're a Hall of Famer, you're in the S tier. Anybody else that I'm just like, I don't know, like Jaylen Brown we'll get into, and Bradley Beal. So I guess we can start off the next tier. Like Bradley Beal, if he retired today, I don't think he'll be a Hall of Famer. If he continues what he's doing throughout his career, he might be a Hall of Famer, but what if he never makes a conference finals in his career? What if he never leads his team to being one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference? He just signed a $250 million extension with Washington, but I don't know if he's going to be a Hall of Famer. It's not a guarantee. I mean, neither is Tatum and Luka, and maybe even Embiid at some cases now, but you know what I mean. Like, you're taking those guys that have a better career over Beal. And Beal, like, you're an A tier. Hey, you'd probably still go number 1 overall in some drafts. Like, if you look at the 2013 draft, but Giannis is going above him. Like, maybe you wouldn't go number 1 in most drafts, but you definitely go number 2, because every draft usually has a stud. Like, if you look at the 2015 draft, does Beal go above Booker and Towns? That's a debate for itself. But yeah, we'll also have Jaylen Brown in that A tier. He's been good enough already where we know he's going to have a very good long career. Hey, one of them could fizzle out like a Darren Williams, or how did Jahlil Okafor start? But that's most likely not going to happen. Now, it is tough for some of these guys that really haven't played too much, right? Like your LaMelo Balls, I would say RJ to an extent. Evan Mobley, they are fairly new, so do I put them in the A tier? I'd probably say they're probably in the B tier right now. Like LaMelo, RJ Barrett, and who did I just say that would also go in there? Evan Mobley. If I'm taking these guys, like, I'm probably taking Mobley, and then I'm probably taking LaMelo, and then I'm taking Barrett at the 3rd spot. But maybe I'm being too high on Barrett. But we'll kind of get back into those guys right now. Like, Al Horford, though. Al Horford had a great career. Actually, yeah, he should be in the A tier because he had a fantastic career, and you would take him 10 times out of 10 if he was available with the 3rd overall pick in most drafts. Maybe not the 2018 draft, maybe not the 2012 draft, but you would probably take him 3rd overall in most drafts. I don't know. Maybe I'll drop these guys down just because they haven't really played, and Al Horford can start that draft. Because, yeah, like if you look at a draft I mentioned, 2012, like you'd have AD and Lillard. I mean, you're probably taking Draymond Green over him. You're probably taking Beal over Horford. I don't know. That's where it gets a little tough of where I want to rank some of these young guys. Because Darren Williams had a great career, but it did fizzle off hard when he ended up going to New Jersey. So I guess I'll put these guys here just because LaMelo's only played 2 years, Mobley's played 1, RJ's played 3, and I know Luka's only played 4, but Luka's freaking Luka Doncic. RJ still has a long way to go if he's going to have a really long, good career. Evan Mobley and LaMelo, I feel like they're going to be fine. I would probably put them higher up, but LaMelo in a redraft, it's him or Anthony Edwards. Mobley, that would be a debate between like Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes in its own right. But yeah, they're just kind of young. It's basically a TBD, an NA at the C tier. And RJ, probably if I had to guess where his career would be, he'd probably be a high tier B, low tier A maybe, but he does have to get that efficiency up, but we'll see how that could be long term. So Jahlil Okafor, since he wasn't a complete bust, he had a couple good years at the start of his career. That's going to warrant a D tier grade for him. Enes Kanter, I would say just as a player in general, is a C tier. So I would say like these 3 here are a different C tier than Enes Kanter because he was solid throughout his career. He was, I don't think, ever an all-star, but he gave you almost 10 years of good big man minutes, and he got like an $80+ million, $70+ million contract at one point. So he's going to go in that tier. Adam Morrison, pretty much a bust. Didn't really give you too many good years at all. I mean, yeah, his rookie season wasn't that good in its own right, and that was his best year. So he's going to go into that sad bust tier. We do have Derek Favors, who is an interesting one to rank. He was the 3rd overall pick in 2010. He's probably around, like, I would say our Favors is better than Kanter, but yeah, I don't think as good of like at the peak of Darren Williams, who was an all-star. Now, was Al Horford ever an all-star? Because Al Horford is somebody that like maybe was never an all-star, but was like he was definitely, he was an all-star in Atlanta. What am I doing? So next up we have, who do I want to rank? Darius Miles from 2000, who I know at least for Miles, he had a longer career. Yeah, he did play about 9 years in the league. And I mean, he had a solid career. He did. I mean, for 9 years, and then he had some knee injuries. Like, yeah, he had a pretty good 2005 and 2006 with Portland. I'm just trying to see if it's any different from Okafor, who's still around. I don't know if he was in the G League last year, but would you say Miles was pretty similar to Kanter and Favors? I guess so. I mean, yeah, like Okafor is definitely better than Adam Morrison at least. So yeah, like that Adam Morrison tier will be different. Mike Dunleavy though, he had a long career. He had some pretty good years as well. Did he make an All-Star game? I don't know, because like I'm trying to figure out who. No, he didn't, but he had a good career. I would say probably a better career than maybe Favors and Canner as well. I mean, they're also Canner's probably not going to play, or Freedom, I should say, isn't going to play too much longer. But Favors could definitely play. Otto Porter, solid career. I don't like he won't be an all-star, but he's a good veteran here. I'd probably say he's been better than Derek Favors kind of throughout their careers. OJ Mayo, all the talent in the world coming out of USC, right? He didn't play, or I know he got. Did he get suspended? And I mean, he at least gave you some solid seasons. Yeah, like he's definitely. I don't even know, man. You know what I might do? I might switch up this tier a little bit. So I think we might drop Okafor to the F tier, and we're gonna do Dunleavy, Porter. Because if you're taking with the third pick, you think you could be a franchise like kind of savior. So like OJ Mayo is probably gonna go in this tier as well. I'm not really ranking them too much, but these are like good role players or kind of people's careers that fizzled out. Okafor had a good rookie year, but that was really it after the rookie year. He really wasn't too much. And like people kind of forget how good Darren Williams was, man. He was just like one of the best. Like he was compared with Chris Paul throughout majority of his like career. Who's the best point guard in the league? And then yeah, Chris Paul is still really good, and Darren Williams hasn't played since 2017. Next up, we have Ben Gordon, who I just kind of have to refresh my memory with Ben Gordon just to see how many years he played. Remember him in Detroit, remember him in Chicago. But yeah, Ben Gordon had some elite shooting seasons. He just didn't play too much. Like, would you say he was a bust? Not really. He was pretty good. He might go in that Darren Williams tier, honestly. Yeah, I think Ben Gordon would probably go. He was a really good scorer. He played 10 years. He's going to go in that Darren Williams tier. That would you say is a good player, borderline all-star. Williams was an all-star. And then, like, yeah, like, these guys will probably have better careers than Ben Gordon, but they're just the TBD tier, you know? So, yeah, let me know what you think of my tier list down below. I just think, like, maybe Darren Williams maybe should go up here into A tier just because he was a peak pretty much for a while as a point guard. Yeah, because he's probably better at his peak than Horford. It's just kind of Horford played a little bit longer. So let me know what you guys think down below. Do you disagree with some of these? Do you agree? Drop a thumbs up if you guys enjoy. You want to see this with other picks. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.